So normally making a Roblox game could take months, right? Or even years. But today my challenge is to make a Roblox game in 1 minute, 10 minutes, and 1 hour. The genre I'm going to do for all three games is shooter, so it might be a little hard to make, but I have a plan. So let's get started. 1 minute timer starting now. First, I started on the 1 minute game, so I opened up Studio and chose the FPS template because there's no possible way I can make an entire gun system in 1 minute. And basically, after I loaded into the template, I just looked at what it had inside of it the entire time. Yeah, so I was just basically wasting time for absolutely no reason, like always. I also tested out the gun system to see how good it was. Again, wasting more time. But I actually did end up trying to add a better texture to the boxes because they looked garbage, but I just didn't have enough time and there was just too many boxes, so I just had to move on. After the first game had zero progress besides what it already started with, I started on the 10-minute game. Let's start the timer now. My plan for the 10-minute game was to make a sprint system since I feel like every shooter game has one, so I need one too. First thing I did was create a new GUI, and then I renamed it Sprint GUI. After I finished with that, I added in a new frame and repositioned it to a corner so it looked more like a real sprint system, Then I just changed around some settings in the frame to make it look nicer and just a little better, but I kept messing up stuff a lot. So here's a time lapse of me making the entire GUI. After I had finally finished with the Sprint GUI, I decided to make a new local script, just create a new local script. But when I first opened up the script, I literally had no idea what to do. I tried just deleting, the starting thing, but then I was just stuck on what I should do. But I also didn't have a lot of time, so I had to think fast, and basically I just eventually started typing some random stuff like variables, and I got a little bit of progress, and then I kind of figured out what I was going to do with the script. So after that I just kept typing, more and more, and then I just spent pretty much almost the entire time coding the sprint system. And yeah, it was just hard. I should have probably planned out what I was going to do on the sprint system first, because there was a lot I need to think of. But yeah, I should have planned it out before I started the 10 minutes, and just basically the rest of the time of the 10-minute game I just mainly spent typing the script. But after I did finish it, I did have some time to test it, and of course I made a typo in the script. So instead of sprinting 2 times faster like you were supposed to, you were sprinting 100 times faster. And that was basically the end of the 10-minute game. My progress so far has been basically just a sprint system in 11 minutes. So I really need to get to work because I need to get something for the 1 hour game. It needs to be good, or at least decent of a game, because so far I basically have no game. So yeah, after I finished the 10-minute game, I just decided to move on to the 1 hour game, and the 1 hour timer starting now. So now that I had a whole hour to make a game, it was time to get to work. First, I added in the sprint system from the 10-minute game because, I need to save time. I have 1 hour. I need a good game, bro. Then I pretty much decided to build a map for the game because I wanted to make a round-based game. Here's a little time lapse of me building the map. Now that I had a full map that looks amazing, I decided to make the round system, which took almost the rest of the hour because I typed slow and it was a pretty big script. Here is what the entire script was. Now that I had the round system done and tons of time gone, I decided to revamp the UI for the sprint system because it looked absolutely terrible, but honestly, I didn't make it that much better. I also needed more for the game, so I added in a crouch system that I 100% made. Also, I forgot to mention, I added in a crate model I already made in Blender a while back because the free one was trash and I was running out of time. Again, time. I really need to manage it well. By the end of everything, I had this awesome system working. But of course, I had another bug which allowed you to sprint and crouch at the same time. So that was pretty much my entire hour. Rate in the comments below how good you think I did. And that's about everything I made in 1 minute, 10 minutes, and 1 hour.